Hi, this is Bruce. We're taking apart the pumpkin cycle. Since we didn't take any videos of putting it together, we thought maybe we would do some videos of taking it apart so people can see how we constructed it. So I'll start with the headlight. That was easy. It's just a gourd. Don's idea to carve out the little headlamp part here, and it's just empty. We had a flashlight sticking at the top to be the headlight coming out, and then we just hooked it on with a hanger, with a coat hanger, then up to go on here like this. That was it, John. Gas tank was a problem for us. We finally ended up putting a couple of coat hangers in it like this to hold it to the frame because it kept falling off. But this was part of a pumpkin that we had. Looked like that when we started. Cut it in half approximately so we could mount it onto the PVC frame. Notched out either end so that it would stay on the frame a little bit better. I should have brought the trash can over. Alright, we'll just put it there. I have a friend tell me deer like to eat pumpkins, so we'll probably put it in the backyard after this. The seat, we just put a couple of wooden skewers through the seat into the pumpkin, disguised them with a little bit of PVC to look like springs, and put it right into the back tire, back pumpkin. We're going to change that design next year to put in more framework, and we'll show that when we take off the back wheel how we did this whole frame thing. But that's how we did the back seat. I already lost one piece of PVC. We'll just have to see how many more we lose. Rear sprocket was a gourd. We hollowed it out. Sorry, we didn't hollow it out. We cut a hole in it with a hole saw, 1 1/4 inch hole saw. Just bored it in and then stuck it right on this piece of PVC, just like that. Pretty simple stuff. Nothing complex here so far. All right. Handlebars. Just a T. It's got a little piece of PVC here to hook in here. Other joints, various joints and stuff, putting it together. This is a T with a piece in it, 245s, and then the actual bars themselves, just pieces of PVC, which Don wrapped with electrical tape. So that's it. Not functional this year. Got an idea for next year on that. Let's take out the cylinders. That was easy. That's a lot harder than taking the one cylinder head off my motorcycle. What we did, and it'll be hard to see until we take this crankcase off, is we drilled a hole in there using this 2 1/8 inch hole saw. We drilled it right into this crankcase pumpkin and then just dropped the gourd right in it. This was just another gourd we put on the front sprocket. The hole was a little bigger than we needed, so we wrapped this piece of PVC up with some black electrical tape so that it would hold in these 1 1/4 holes better. So next year we're going to get a 1 inch hole saw, because that's the size that fits this PVC, which is a 3/4 inch PVC, which is the inside diameter. So you add in the outside, it ends up being about an inch total. This gourd, this other cylinder, is kind of stuck in there. I'm going to remove this piece here. But this one we put a groove in the top using that same hole saw we were talking about before. We carved it down like this to put a groove in it so that it would rest in here and right up against the frame. It became part of the support of the frame, as well as keeping the crankcase solid. So I don't know if we'll do that next year or not. Depends on the size of the gourds we find. So let's start. That was the front fork. It just hooks in here like this. Alright, there is a piece that goes through the pumpkin. Alright, and what we did was we drilled it with this small hole saw that we talked about earlier. We drilled each end of the pumpkin, and then we inserted the PVC all the way through and just hooked it on either side with right angle pieces of PVC. Right angle joints. Running out of room here. Should have been using that the whole time, right? So, I can't take this pumpkin off of here yet because this whole board will fall apart. However, let's take this off. This was the top frame member, and you can't see it from where we're standing, but all we did was we took this piece of frame like this, drilled a small hole using this 1 1/4 inch hole saw, and just inserted the frame right into the pumpkin. And then we lined it up here in order to hook the whole thing up, and that was the upper frame member. Gas tank sat on here and the seat sat on here. Next year we're going to do something a little different, but that's how we did it this year. So we take that off. Alright, this was the crankcase pumpkin. I guess we'll take off the back wheel first. This is just like the other one, just hooked up here with PVC, lengths of PVC. We'll get back to you in a second. Just with lengths of PVC. This one had a T on it because that's where we put this. That's where we put the big sprocket on the back here. Remember? So that we just put a T on. This side had a right angle, both to get the frame running back towards the front of the pumpkin cycle. All right. Again, we just drilled the pumpkin out a little bit to insert our axle, which is just a piece of PVC. Lucky stuff. Pumpkin guts. And that's the back wheel. All right. Let's get this out of the way. All right. This is the remaining frame member. Get rid of the front wheel. By the way, both of those pumpkins were about 12 inches in diameter as you looked at them from the top. So that's about the size you need if you want to build it the same size I built it. This was the crankcase where the cylinders went and all that kind of stuff. What we did was we connected it up with some 45-degree angle onto the rest of the frame, and then we inserted it right through the crankcase. Again, we just drilled a couple of small holes and put the PVC right through there to hold it steady. Next year when we redesign it, make them all a little bit different, because I'm thinking we'll have a piece on either side just rested in there, but that'll be next year. So, this is the crankcase. Here's the hole that the frame went through. Here's the two holes, big holes we drilled for the cylinders. And it didn't hold a lot of oil, but it held up pretty well for us for Halloween. And that's basically it. I didn't do a good inventory of the parts for you. Maybe I can do that later. I'll tell you how many of each thing we had. And we've got a couple different design ideas, and it's going to change the materials, but maybe we'll list these and then we'll go through and start doing some design changes for next year and show you what those are about. Happy Halloween. Bye-bye.